What if our self-love practice is just a distraction? It's something that we do because we feel like we need to take care of ourselves and show up for the parts of ourselves that we've been neglecting. So we partake in these different activities and we feel like we're getting better, getting more attuned to who we are through treating ourselves with a nice bath or going out to a nice dinner and being around nice company, or maybe withdrawing from the company, whatever your self-care, self-love practice is. But we're doing all these things because we feel like we almost need to feel better and to feel more centered, but we may be dismissing the real reason that we need to partake in a self-love practice that's not so externalized but internal, because this seems to be an ever-evolving experience where self-love isn't just caring for ourselves, but it's being aware of this internal self on a subjective level and on a higher level, and being so attuned to the felt sensations of this physical body that we can experience the heart space and the potency that resides in our visceral organs. And in this entire system, if this is all blocked, then we don't experience the self in the body. We experience the self up here that's trying to create images to make us go out in the world and do these activities, these self-care practices that are just putting a Band-Aid over this raw wound that's just open and it's full of blood waiting to turn into a scab. But we can't do that, or it can't turn into anything, any healing sort, by going to these external activities. So when we're looking at self-love, we're bringing awareness to the self on a bodily level, the ego on the bodily level. And we can open ourselves up, quite literally, the channels within our body, our visceral organs, this whole system, our animal body from neck down. And we can feel what is inherently real and raw. And those are emotions. And that is the pulsation of excitation in the body. That is guidance internally that is telling us what we really need. And in that means that we have to feel our feelings. And we're opening ourselves, we're welcoming the intensity that is inside. And there's no manipulation that needs to take place. There's no transmuting, not yet, but it's being with the presence of the energy body, and then learning how your behavior and your personality can adapt to what those emotions are to best meet them, to best meet these parts of you that are externalizing through the practices that you've been doing but aren't quite working. And they're being met internally. They're being seen for what they need, where they're at, the different parts that are inside. And then you can work with nurturing them, and you can work with accepting them. And then you're in a place of true self-love, not one that is controlling. And you can take this in every relationship, not just with you and your internal world, but your external and the people that you connect with. Okay, how are you trying to manipulate and control and form this ideal situation between you and the other? And you're taking away from the magic that is here. So I have a lot of intensity around this subject of self-love for some reason, because I had denied myself so many times of the real creation of self-love, and that is in acceptance and presence, and being with the pain, because the pain is the lesson, and of rooting into just the multitudes of energies and of layers to the experience. But it's a lot and it's intense, and that's where I'm kind of coming forward right now. So if your self-love practice just isn't working out, then maybe it's Not so much a need to do everything outside of you, but to just be exactly where you're at, and you know that that's enough. And then to root into the bodily experience, to meet it, and to have no conditions around the way that you love yourself. And moving forward and out of that, addressing the mature way to love yourself and what you need in this moment. Maybe it's not the chocolate cake. Maybe it's not the hug from the person. Maybe it's not going on your phone to find the next thing that's going to just give you a small moment of satisfaction. No, maybe it's none of that. Maybe it's just shutting all of that out and then being with that pain that's internal and then loving it exactly as it is. So that's all I have for you in this video. I'll see you in the next clip.